Hey guys, and welcome back to my Let's Play of LEGO Star Wars The Complete Saga. We are halfway through challenge mode. It is finally time to enter the original trilogy. So of course we begin with episode 4, A New Hope. And in this part, the levels are going to start getting a little bit longer, and as such, so does the time limit. Not here, in Secret Plans, everything is pretty normal, and they flat out give you that first canister. So the thing about LEGO Star Wars 2 levels is they're a lot bigger, they're more expansive in some occasions, and there are of course the levels that break up into two segments. We still have Rescue the Princess to do in the next part. And there's still quite a lot of it here really. We have all of that back section that requires you to be either a bounty hunter or a stormtrooper to get through. And yeah, there are mini kits in that area. For the most part, the mini-kits are on the main pathway. It's just every now and then you get the odd one or two that like to make you go on the other pathway. Which can be a particular problem when the levels are quite big. And that's why some of these levels have bigger time limits. Like this one only has 10 minutes, as all of the previous levels have done. However, the next two levels have 12 minutes. Now, if you know where the mini-kits are, you can get through the levels pretty quickly. Through the Jundland Waste can still be a bit on the lengthy side, but the following level, Eisley Spaceport, we're not going to be there for very long. The only reason we're there for a while is because there was one mini-kit that I was struggling to find, so I wandered around aimlessly for a little bit. So there is like a minute or so of me trying to find the mini-kit. But that is the only one that I have problems with. The rest of them, they're really not that hard. You can skip most of the... Because of the free play mode, you can skip most of the things that you're required to do. Like in story mode. You don't need to build the ATSTs. You don't need to worry about taking out the additional enemies that appear because of these things. Like these otherwise scripted segments. You can skip all of it. And we don't need to worry about taking out all the stormtroopers at the end of the level. So we are required to go in here. This I think is the only one though that's... Or did I just pick it up? It's in here somewhere. I think it's behind this one. There it is. So this is the only one that we actually need to destroy all of those things for. There are no others behind there. At least I don't recall there being any more behind there. But every now and then again though, I still just make sure to check. Even though I did do my research, or I did some practice. It was one or the other. Sounds terrible, I know. I wonder how I make a video for YouTube to showcase where all these things are. I got it! I'll look at a video on YouTube. That makes so much sense. That's the professional way. And then I'll do it myself and take all the credit. No, I won't take all the credit. Because of course I'm watching the video, and I'm telling you that I watched the videos. But other than that, I do try and make sure that I practice some of the levels. It's just getting the time to record, getting the time to edit, getting the time to practice. I've also still got the super story. I've done the prequels, I just have to do the originals. So the long ones. Where getting studs is now more difficult, as opposed to the prequels, where getting studs is now easier. Still, I doubt it's that bad just to get 100,000 studs in 6 levels. Oh, I'm not looking forward to Falcon Flight again, though. Well, at least I don't lose studs in Super Story. Again, I really don't know why they bothered with Super Story. All you're doing is just playing through the story again. Only this time you've got to try and do it in under an hour and collect 100,000 studs. Collecting 100,000 studs is easy peasy. Completing it in under an hour in the prequels, now that they have that, is also really easy. You also didn't have Super Story in LEGO Star Wars 1, but completing the prequels is incredibly easy to do in Super Story. Like, you can do that, you can do them all in under half an hour. You know, you're still given the hour time limit. And collecting 100,000 studs. Now, that was already easy in LEGO Star Wars 1. Now they give you more studs. LEGO Star Wars 2, it's a bit harder. Again, collecting 100,000 studs was easy in 2. a bit more difficult this time around because they lowered the quantity, weirdly. And the levels are longer. The one that the one I find in, at least in LEGO Star Wars 2, I'm pretty much here because it's the same thing, is Return of the Jedi. That one is quite difficult. Because a lot of the levels are quite long, and and again, it's largely just because of the amount of times you're forced to fight the enemies again and again and again, especially in the Endor level. Speeder Showdown does that so much, and the Great Pits of Carkoon does that a lot as well. The levels last a lot longer than they should do. This guy's punching a lightsaber. How is he doing that? How this guy's got magic hands, apparently. Yeah, decides to run for it. It's through this door. And there we go. You can't miss that one. No, literally, I don't think you can miss it. Unless there's some way you can go around it, but why would you do that? Right. That's the quick one done and over with. Well, again, Mos Eisley Cantina shouldn't take that long as you remember where the mini-kits are. Which, for the most part, I did. I just got lost on one. Oh, sunlight, it's back outside. Our weather has been so weird this week. Then it's sunny, then it's rainy, then it's sunny, then it's rainy. It's half British. The other half of the time it's sunny. Alright, time for the big boy. The longest level in the game. We're not here for too long. I'd say each level takes up roughly a third of the video. Now it's sunny and raining. Ugh. I'll keep my eyes out for the rainbow. Actually, usually I tend to see two rainbows. It tends to be like one clear one and then one that's like very faded just behind it. One time I saw three. That was I've never seen three rainbows before. It's very rare also that I see the full arch rainbow. Usually it's like just a tiny little bit. It's like just a diagonal line. But no, this was like the full arch rainbow. I do like rainbows. They're pretty. Alright, this part was really annoying. Because you really... I don't know who designed this part. You need Boba or Jango Fett. So technically Boba Fett because it's LEGO Star Wars 2. Otherwise, you can't make that without firing the thing, without throwing the thermal detonator at the wall, and it has to be an absolutely perfect shot. Like even that barely made that, and you've got the sand people. I should have just shot the sand people, to be fair. Just made it, and it's the only time you ever have to worry about something like that. So I don't know why they didn't just make it closer. Without having to use the bounty hunter with the jetpack. I mean, you could use the self-destruct on your droids, but I can't do that in challenge mode. Because they turned off the extras. And yeah, this is, you do have to go up here. Otherwise I wouldn't be going up here. This thing really doesn't want to activate when I hover over it. It's like, what took so long there? What was it struggling with? It is obscured by the camera that there is one in here. And no, it is still raining. It's just drizzling now. And now I need to backtrack because the path split off in two. No, I don't need to backtrack. Okay, well, we're fine. We're fine. I have no reason to backtrack. Do I got it? Yeah, I do. So this is another level where we have a lot of infinitely respawning enemies, and I always hate infinitely respawning enemies in any game. I hate them, and this game is one of the reasons for it. Of course, I do make it harder for myself when I don't decide to just deflect their shots back at me. It certainly would be easier. So now it's easier to build this block. Because I can't use my high jump character anymore because they nerfed the jump. And I still don't know why they did that. Couldn't it just made certain things easier? It's like, play the level the way we designed you to play it. I mean, we're giving you a load of power bricks and everything to absolutely break the game. But still, you're going to play the level as we wanted you to play it. This absolutely makes sense. No, I think actually there's still one more outside the sand crawler. In fact, I can see it just over there. So you got to get on top of the sand crawler, and then you'll have to jump down. But you have to get on top of the sand crawler anyway to get into it, so there you go. Lower this down. Lower this down. Now you can just double jump your way out there. I mean, you have to, because everyone's got to get up here in the main story. And now we can get into the sand crawler. That was a joke I actually never understood in the Family Guy parody. Why does one of the Jawas give the other one a jar of mayonnaise? I have no idea what the music playing in it is either. It gives him a jar of mayonnaise. Like what is it, or whatever it was. What's it got to do with anything? What? Stuttering. What does it have to do with anything? Just gives him a jar of mayonnaise. I'm sure it's a joke. It's a reference to something. This Family Guy literally is references the cartoon. But I don't know what it's supposed to be a reference to. Or why it starts playing classical music when it happens. Right, which one of you is Mort? Oh boy, it's 100 degrees out here. If I pass out, please note that I am wearing a bracelet with all my insurance information. Whatever the whole thing he says is. By the way, I'm playing as Ki-Adi-Mundi. Taking a very long time to say that. I really find this model distracting. I know Ki-Adi-Mundi has like a bump on his that makes up a good portion of his head. The problem is that in order to showcase that in Lego form, it's literally just an extended piece of Lego. Like it's not it's not like a bump on the middle of the head. It is just they have lengthened the head, and I don't like it. I don't mind Ki-Adi-Mundi's actual appearance, just because yeah, I don't know how that. There's a Jawa that just ended up in the cage. I don't know how it just did that. It just ended up in the cage. I think we might just need a close-up of that just to see what it looked like. How I think it just like runs away and then it just phases through the bars. I'm gonna have to look back at that a second. I completely forgot that happened. This was recorded quite some time ago, so I haven't had the time to get around to recording the other parts. That's why I only one went up that week. Oh no! It looks no different without the quicksand. You can see it, but it's so faint. Although I should just remember that you don't actually shrink down the quicksand there. I also don't know how that even works. So we just need to go up here and go all the way to the end. Oh, it's such a long run. I wish I had like a speed shoe ability. There we go. So now all we need to do is just sort of just run to the end. The last one is in the double score zone. No, not the last one. The second to last one is in the double score zone. I got shot. And the second to last one is at the end of the level, funnily enough. Some of them are actually quite a bit away from the end, I've noticed. While others are like right there, right at the end of the level. And every now and then I'm in such a rush to get to the end, I forget that there's something. I forget that I need to go off the beaten path in order to actually create the path. So, that's just something I do, and I do that quite a lot. It's not just in Star Wars. I do that a lot of the time. Like, oh wait, I need to go over here in order to actually proceed. Therefore, I have actually wasted more time. There's the sand person, Tusken Raider, whatever you want to call it. I don't care. I don't like them, mainly just because I really, really hate the noise they make. I've never liked that noise. It's not the worst sound in the world, but I just don't like the noise. That is the worst sound person impression you will ever hear. I just went right off the edge. See, that's the kind of time, that's the sort of timing I'd expect to hear one of those sand people screams. As they're falling down a cliff, like a Wile E. Coyote sketch. Complete with the yikes sign. They're always my favourite Looney Tunes sketches. The Wile E. Coyote and Roadrunner. I always look forward to seeing him fall down a cliff. Although nowadays, looking back, my favourites are actually always the ones where he soars through a cliff. Where are you going, Kiadi? He just soars through a cliff and then the entire landscape falls down. It's just the little bit that Roadrunner stood on that doesn't fall. It makes no sense whatsoever, but if we were making sense, then Roadrunner shouldn't be able to run fast and Coyote should have died a long time ago. Alright, but we finally did it. Yeah, through the Jundland Waste, that's our first one to have 12 minutes. And so does the next one, Mos Eisley Spaceport. Even though you can get through this level quite quickly, it has so many alleyways and buildings that you can go into, like multiple paths every now and then. There's a lot to explore in the level, and I think that's why they gave you so much time, even though you don't need to. You're not going to know that on your first try. Yeah, unless you just spend for ages in the level and then you finish. Sorry, I should say you spend ages in the level, you don't finish, but you know where the others are. Now you're going to spend forever on the second half. Yay, trial and error. Yeah, these ones for the most part are pretty easy to find. Except for that one that I spent forever looking for. And once again, and now pay attention to this, that door is open. That door is closed down. Now what's going to happen here? It actually stayed closed for a change. It actually did it right. Where are the stormtroopers? These guys aren't doing their jobs very well. So because we don't need to worry about the ATST, I can just go over and destroy this thing. And really, it's not, the stormtroopers don't actually do anything until I've done something myself. So if I've started building something, if I break something, if I shoot something, or anything like that, that is when they actually start attacking me. They're a bit weirder when it comes to my partner character. So look at that. In less than 2 minutes, we have already covered, like, over a third of the level. Unfortunately, you do have to take out every single stormtrooper here. Thankfully, you don't need to worry about the ones further back. I find it weird. What is it? My lightsaber? What is causing that? I'm not a droid. I'm a ghost, and he's, well, he should be half droid now, but still. There's only one mini kit in the cantina, so just grab that one in the middle, and then, well, it's not really the middle, it's sort of however far around that is. Get up here, thank you. Now you do need to go into the bounty hunter area up here. Oh, that was smart. What's the funny part about when you do leave this for a while? You forget. I very briefly go through it just to see if there was anything that I missed. Anything I took a while at. Such as what's about to happen right now. But because I tend to then skip everything else. So it's in there. We just saw it floating around. It's like I completely forgot that I threw a thermal detonator at myself. So this is where I wander around for a little bit. And it's because what it was the thing that was blue inside that whatever it's supposed to be. It's right next to the blue canister, but as a result, I completely missed that it was that there was a blue canister right next to it. It just looks like it's one single blue object, but eventually, I think it's now that I do eventually grab it, and like, oh, there it is. I mean, you have like the flashing lights, but I don't think it's enough. Like, even with the flashing lights, that's all that's in there. The next one is just down here. I want to say that was the only one in this area too. There's one in the final area. There's one in the theatre. I don't know why I'm destroying those. This is me wandering around for some reason. Why am I wandering around here? I don't remember what it is I'm looking for now. It's like I just collected that canister. Then again, it is me saying that I know where two of them are, but I've forgotten it. But yeah, I do remember the other one is now. It's just outside the theatre. Who needs a box when you have thermal detonators? Not the stormtroopers, I can tell you that, because they can just go right through the box. The box? The door. The door? What kind of box is that? It's a door. When is a door not a door? When it's a box. That makes no sense whatsoever. Oh boy, Lego Star Wars! Love that movie. Actually, I'm surprised we haven't had that one yet. We've had two Lego movies, a Lego Batman movie, a Lego Ninjago movie, or whatever it's called. But we haven't had a Lego Star Wars movie. We've had like a little bunch of short movies based around Lego Star Wars. I remember the Yoda Chronicles especially. But I did always like those, especially Grievous. I loved Grievous and I loved the Emperor. And Darth Vader, actually. They were all great. The bad guys were all great in those little films. Like Darth Vader gets into a rivalry with Darth Maul, and he wants to be the Emperor's favourite. So I always really enjoyed those. But we've never had like a proper Lego Star Wars film. And there we go. In under half the time. But again, that's if you know where they all are. Otherwise you could be spending quite a long time in that level. I mean, the first section does have quite a lot of areas you can search in. Like I said, if you are going for absolutely everything, that's which I was finding out in Lego Star Wars 2, where the game kept freezing, and I was like, ugh. I just spent like half an hour in the level. Going for all the mini kits, going for studs. It's infuriating. Anyway, next time, rescue the princess, Death Star escape, and Rebel attack. So I will see you guys then.